I'm still in the game, Adam. It won't happen again. You can trust me on this.
Just focus, okay? We know that White hates cops, so his first target is probably gonna be the precinct or somewhere nearby. Make sense?
Yeah, and he wouldn't risk hanging around the bank or transit station. They've got those security cameras with facial recognition software. And the precinct is shut down thanks to the internal affairs investigation. That leaves the precinct alleys and sewers as the most probable places to find White. I'm going to get on the horn and update my CO. Can you check those two locations? And Jensen, be careful. White may have left booby traps lying around. He's like that, now that I think about it.
No problem. Anything else you can give me?
I don't know. You remember what White looks like, right? Tall, Caucasian, skinhead? He's not the quietest guy, so you'll probably hear him before you see him.
Yeah, a real philosopher king. I remember.
Yeah, so if you just keep your eyes and ears open, I'm sure you'll find him. Also, I heard he's had some major augmentation work done. I'd be extra careful around him. I think the White we used to know has been replaced with something much worse.
Got it.
I know it's a long shot, but I'm hoping we get backup to expand the search. In the meantime, we can check those areas, and who knows, maybe we'll catch a break. Oh, and Jensen, please don't turn him into a martyr. I'd prefer him breathing.
Complex games in itself isn't exactly an indication that a game is going to be harder. You know, like, just because you have a keyboard, that doesn't mean that a game is going to be more complex or harder than a console game. I mean, fucking Nintendo games were like, those developers only had what, 2 buttons to work with and the directional buttons, and they still created fucking pieces of art. And how they did that was they created a very streamlined and just very easy to learn system, a very easy to learn mechanics of a game, but yet they created fundamentally complex puzzles and platforming sections, which required the player to really master the controls. It doesn't matter if the controls were really easy. They still had to master them and really just think ahead and be fast and react fast and just... So yeah, I guess that it isn't the consoles, it is the gamer mentality. I'm not sure, like... Yeah, it is the... Oh shit, I think I just... Yeah, it is the gamer mentality. I mean, you can probably see how consoles could be the reason for you know, just encouraging developers to make a lot easier games. But maybe it's not really the consoles per se, in that you know, it has fewer buttons and less power to work with. It's not that. It's more that the developers have lost their creative touch, that competitive edge, that spark that makes them want to create really fundamentally different and intriguing sections in the game, rather than, you know, using a certain couple of buttons to create a complex game. I mean, sure, I mean, Army of Two isn't exactly complex, and it's not exactly hard either. I mean, a lot of people were bashing it for being really just boring, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe if they had somehow created inside the game more, given the player more choice to how to play each map and everything, each level. I don't know. Like, how did I even start? Like, how did I get into this? Right, console gamers were crying about not having 64 players on Battlefield 3. I mean, one thing that, I mean, they said that, you know, the consoles can't really deal with that. But, you know, then there's MAG, you know, Massive Action Game, that has like, what, 256 players on each server? But then again, I'm not sure how good MAG is. Never played it. I want to play it, but I haven't. But I guess that... But hey, you know, if DICE says they can't do it, then I guess it's either because they think that it's not really, it's not really balanced for consoles. It doesn't really make sense when you have too many players. Or maybe they just thought, because PC is a lead platform, that consoles, they don't need as many players to play. Or maybe they just didn't want to bother with the netcoding. I'm not sure. All I'm saying is that Monica Bellucci is fucking beautiful. God damn, that's a woman. That is a woman. But yeah, I mean, as I said, I guess it's because I'm grumpy that that I've been getting all these shitty PC ports that I said, tough luck. I mean, I know how it feels, trust me. And I don't know, like, hopefully you know now how it feels, and next time you see in a forum that, PC gamers are complaining about the shitty disgusting controls in an Assassin's Creed game, then you can hopefully understand why we're complaining. And not just dismiss us. Because, hey, we feel your pain, and hopefully you can feel ours. I mean, I don't know how important it is to have 64 players. I mean, I played on Caspian Border, and I don't know. It didn't feel like I was facing 32 players at all. It felt like a standard rush map. It did. It's really odd, but it did. But yeah, much love to consoles, but not much love to gamers. It feels like we've really become detached from each other. I mean, take me for example. I'm blaming games shittiness on consoles, when I really should be blaming it on gamers, on developers, because that is who the games are for, and that is who the games are made from. Gamers, if gamers don't expect more, if they don't ask for more, if they don't demand more, if they don't critique what they play and how the gaming industry is evolving, then hey, if nobody cares, then developers won't care either. But yeah, I mean, the way we've kind of become detached from each other, it's crazy. I mean, it shouldn't be happening at all. But yeah, I'm still wondering if it. No, it isn't. It's developers. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with mainstreaming a game, I guess, per se. But, well, I guess, Dragon Age 2 is a great example. People didn't like that game because, well, a number of reasons. But one reason was that it was dumbed down. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of one point that I'm trying to make. That I mean, I love Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age Origins is, of course, the more sound, more better game, but I don't know. It's a tough question. What is the question? What did I ask? I didn't ask anything. I'm just rambling. But like, The Witcher, The Witcher is a pretty interesting example as well. That's not a dumbed down game, and a lot of people loved it. I couldn't exactly get into it, but that's mainly for two reasons. One, I mean, fuck it, I'm not gonna say anything. It's not for me. But yeah, I mean, games shouldn't be too hard and not too easy. Either have a middle ground or let the player choose. I think I'm gonna play on the hardest, like the hardest of the hardest in Skyrim. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, gonna be killed by a rat in like a hit or something. It's gonna be interesting to see how that works out. And I still think I'm gonna play as a Redguard or something. But yeah, that's my rant about consoles and PCs and everything. I guess it's all about, developers and publishers want to, appeal to as many people as possible. The more something is complex, I guess that it's going to deter a lot of people. It's going to shock them. It's gonna spook them. It's gonna make them afraid of testing the game. It's when something is streamlined and mainstream and easy to learn, it's gonna invite a lot of people. But then again, the counter argument is that more complex games get a much larger, or perhaps not larger, but more dedicated fan base. The Blizzard games are a fucking amazing example. The Witcher, another one. Arma is another one. Those are very... I guess that Blizzard's games have become a lot more mainstream as well. Just a lot easier, just a lot more polished, and just not as deep as some of their previous games, but still... I mean, their bureaucratic management is fucking awful. Fuck them. Like, they've really sold their soul to the devil at this point, but what can you do, right? But still, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm completely... I don't know. I know I've said I don't know like a gajillion times, but when I don't know something, it's not that I don't know, it's that I'm at a point where I don't know. I don't know how to continue the sentence without, saying something really dumb, or the whole situation is just annoying. But I guess necessary. It's a necessary part of the gaming industry's growth. It's a new medium. Who knows? Maybe... I mean, as I said, complex games in itself doesn't mean they're worse or better than games that aren't. But, I mean, take The Witcher, for example. I couldn't play it. But that's partly because it's very convoluted and very just stupidly structured. Like... I don't know, like, it just dumps you into this game without any tutorial or anything. Like, when you have a game that hard, you don't need a tutorial for a first-person shooter, but for that, it'd be nice if you could at least, hint at what the fuck is going on. And the user interface, oh, no, that is a fucking, no, that was a tragedy. That's a crime against video games. That's atrocious shit. But hey, I guess there are some people who like that. But then again, I mean, I'm sitting here saying that I want more complex games, and I'm complaining about The Witcher, Arma 2, or Arma in general. Just is also a little just But then again, as I said before, I don't want too complex or too hard games, but I don't want too easy or too streamlined games either. I want some kind of middle ground or variation. Let us choose, and we kind of have that today. But the more and more publishers and developers realize that there isn't a big enough market to sustain their own fucking studios, then they'll probably switch to a more mainstream and streamlined audience. I mean, I guess that's what Arma and The Witcher, what they did. They just saw a niche in the market, and they filled that gap.